Hello everybody, it's Yin&YangTSD here, and really excited. I just got a new sword, I just got a new blade. Show them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I ordered this from Kekari, Japan. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but look at the scabbard. Bring the scabbard, bring close to the scabbard. It's a beautiful scabbard. And I like the Suba. I like how the Suba looks. It's a very, very much speed-oriented blade, and you'll see why. It's got that bowhide. It's a very, very wide bowhide for such a thin blade. Now right now the tip is not sharpened at all, so I can't really show any thrusts off with it. But in just a minute we're going to go downstairs and I'm going to cut the first bottle with it. But I ordered this from Kekari, Japan. I'm not sure what the actual blade was called on the website, but it said it was 1060 carbon steel, and hopefully it was tempered right. But it is definitely the exact polar opposite of Aster over here. Aster is a very wide blade meant for very, very hard use. I think this is going to be very, very useful for idols. So, go ahead and pause the video. Hey guys, Yin&YangTSD here, and so something happened, and it wasn't the best thing ever. I ran out of water bottles, except for one, and I didn't know that one was up here until I got back up. But anyway, so my brother's thumb was in the recording for for a lot of the recording that I got of exhibition with the new sword. So I was kind of stumped for ideas. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't have any other but one water bottle, and one really isn't enough to merit calling it an exhibition. So I just didn't do that. But what I did find, and will be really useful both in the future and right now, is this. This is going to tell me everything I need to know, really. Well, a lot of things I need to know about the sword. Let's see. You can see the overall length right here. You can see the blade length, handle length. You can see how it was forged. You can see, you know, a lot of stuff that's really useful. But what really takes it is that you can see the smith. And that's going to help me a crap ton if I ever want to buy or talk to this specific smith. And it's kind of funny, actually. I noticed just a little bit ago that it says Tuska right there instead of Tsuka. So I don't know, that really makes me laugh. But anyway, so it's from a Hanbon sword certificate. Yeah, it's from Hanbon Sword, and I'm not sure if that's, you know, an actual forge or if they're just some kind of market. But I now know the sword and or the forge and or market that I could get another sword like this from again if I want to. And I also know this exact smith that made this sword in particular, so that's really awesome. It also tells you, and I think this is where the lack of a hamon will come in, tells you how it was forged, you know, how it was heat treated. It tells you it was oil quenched, and it tells you it had 11 steps of hand polishing. So I think it's the oil quenched part that comes into play here with the hamon. It doesn't say anything about clay, so I guess they didn't really run it through clay. I guess they just quenched it in oil and really didn't do anything to make a hamon with clay. Hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem. It says it was heat treated, so it should pull through just fine, but I'm not going to be cutting any saplings down anytime soon. However, what does make me a little bit more happy about this is that it is 1060 high carbon steel, which is my personal favorite kind of high carbon steel, and it's also heat treated. It should do fairly well in any kind of testing that most wouldn't wince at. So I'm just really, really happy I found that information on the sword. I'm actually probably going to buy another sword from this forge in future, this forge or this market, because so far I'm really, really pleased. I did use 3 bottles earlier, and one is a Gatorade bottle, and those things are extremely thick and rather hefty, and it's actually made me wince a few times using Errant and hitting a Gatorade bottle. I'm even reluctant to do it with Aster, or I was until now. So I'm really, really pleased that nothing happened to the blade with that. Still got a perfect mirror polish. Actually, might as well just show you. Ugh. It's a little hard to get out of the scabbard, but that just means it's much less likely to fall if my finger slips. So, nothing wrong with the blade. And I did use my microfiber on it like a person who's learning. So I'm not going to suffer any kind of rust or anything like that, luckily. That is one of the things that Yin stressed to me the most, and I'm really glad he did, because most people don't think too much about maintenance at first. I'm really glad he broached that subject early with me. So, I'm just going to leave you with that beautiful shot of these swords. I'm definitely going to be getting more in the future, and let's see this belt place right here get filled with another sword, guys. Alrighty, see you again in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty guys, so it's a little bit rainy, but I decided let's do a quick exhibition just to show you what this girl's made out of. So, what I'm going to do is that typical cut where I hit the top bottle off, and then, well, I cut the top bottle and then cut through the second as well. But the difference is I'm going to try to hit it in the same, the same way twice. And I think I'm going to want to do what Jesse likes to do, just that tap. So, terrible, terrible aim on my part. So, alright, I always miss these, but, yeah, I don't think she's sharp enough quite yet, but I still do stuff like that. I'm soaked. Alrighty guys, this has been